Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled California Fires Targeted by Laser Weapons. Now, California has been recently hit by fires which have destroyed large tracts of land and houses. Over 42 people have been confirmed dead due to the fires and over 200 people are missing. Some 7,000 houses have been destroyed and possibly many more cars. The media is calling it the deadliest wildfire in California's history, and President Trump has been reported as saying that it is a very tough situation. Now, the use of the term wildfire implies that these are natural fires caused by forests catching fire, and then that fire spreading to houses and cars. But the images that have emerged from the region showing the after effects of these fires tell another story. Below I will show and analyze some of the images which I obtained from an excellent video by Planet X News entitled Directed Energy Weapons, California Fires. Now here we see a burnt out car and a burning house in the background, but the trees do not look burnt. Wildfires spread from trees to cars and houses. The car is burnt and the house is burning. So you would assume the trees in between the car and the house would have transmitted the fire from the car to the house. But the trees are not burnt. Thus, the only way that this car and this house could have caught fire is if they were targeted by a laser weapon which delivered enough energy through radiation in a small enough amount of time that the material the car was made of was unable to irradiate or conduct it away, causing it to catch on fire, and similarly for the house. Now here we see a bridge which was destroyed by fire. It's still burning. The image on the right here shows the end of the bridge that we do not see in both these images. So this shows one end and this one shows the other end. And you can see at both ends that everything seems to be untouched by the fire. There's no signs of a fire spreading from trees, from a forest fire to this bridge. This bridge could not have caught fire as a result of a wildfire, as there is no sign of fire reaching it. Everything around the bridge is intact with no signs of having been affected by fire. Only the bridge being targeted by a laser weapon could have caused the damage we see here. So much energy was transferred to this bridge that it caused metal beams to buckle and bend. You can see the metal beams here. And they bent. So a wildfire does not usually get so hot that metal beams bend like this. This clearly indicates that the bridge was targeted by a weapon. The use of a weapon to destroy infrastructure indicates that the war is being waged. And here we have an aerial view of burned houses in the neighborhood. And it shows that the houses have been completely destroyed, but the trees have been left intact. You can see some of them are still full of leaves. And this is very, very strange. And so it's impossible for a wildfire, which is supposed to spread from tree to tree until it passes on to houses, to cause houses to be obliterated, as we see these here, whilst the trees between the houses remain intact. This suggests that the houses, like the car and house in Figure 1, and the bridge, were targeted by a directed energy weapon, in this case a laser weapon. And here we see evidence in both these photographs of the use of laser weapons to create fires in California. Notice that the beam narrows as it approaches the target in both of these cases. And this means that it is specifically being focused by the targeting mechanism of the weapon system. This also suggests that the source, or the weapon, is not too far off the ground. Two broad types of weapons are used to destroy infrastructure in a war: spread out energy weapons and directed energy weapons. A bomb is an example of a spread out energy weapon, whilst a missile or a bullet is an example of a directed energy weapon, as the whole energy of a projectile is delivered to the target. Laser weapons are also directed energy weapons, but whereas projectiles destroy through kinetic damage to the structure of the target, lasers destroy the target by delivering more photon energy to it faster than it can be dissipated by it. causing the temperature of the target to increase rapidly until it explodes, melts, or vaporizes. Laser weapons will not be as successful with trees as with cars and houses, as trees have internal mechanisms to remove heat. But if enough energy is delivered to the tree, it will eventually burn. However, it is clear from the above images that the houses, not the trees, were targeted with laser weapons. And here we see an illustration which shows the difference between spread out energy weapons and directed energy weapons. So a bomb is an example of a spread out energy weapon where the energy of the explosion goes in all directions and only a small fraction of that energy reaches the target. Whereas with a directed energy weapon, all the energy reaches the target. So it's directed at the target. Now here we see more signs of cars being targeted by a weapon rather than by a wildfire spreading to them, as the trees in the background are clearly not burned. And in addition, this car reached such a hot temperature that some of the metal on it melted. Now metals, because they are conductors, reflect laser light unless the laser light used is of a higher frequency than the plasma frequency of the metal. Thus most metals reflect most of the energy delivered by visible light lasers. This would suggest that either ultraviolet or X-ray lasers were used here. These would then only become visible by being absorbed by the atmosphere and ionizing it, so that the resulting plasma emits light. This may be why these weapons may sometimes be referred to as plasma weapons. Lasers can ionize the atmosphere by delivering energy to free electrons in the air, which then ionize other atoms through collisions, thus increasing the number of free electrons in the atmosphere, which has thus turned into a plasma. Electrons will also be recaptured by atoms, which then give off photons with energy equal to the initial free electron energy minus the energy of the recaptured electron. These photons are often in the visible light range of the electromagnetic spectrum and are thus detected by the human eye, thus making the laser beam visible. So in conclusion, photographs showing the aftermath of fires in California clearly indicate that laser weapons have been used to target houses, bridges, and vehicles. This therefore indicates that the region is undergoing a war. This seems to be a war waged with powerful weapons against a population with no weapons to counter it and no military to protect them. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.